What's up, ladies? This is Alex from Mindful Attraction 2.0, and today we're going to be talking about ghosting, when men ghost on you. Alright? Why it happens, and what to do about it, and how to deal with it. Because it's inevitable. See, I'm a guy that teaches men how to meet and seduce women. Because of that, I have to actually deal with this shit because it happens often. I'll meet a girl, I like her, and I'll never hear from her again. This happens very often. You have sex with them, and you'll never hear from them. Now, part of the reason is because a lot of men are focused on trying to get women, right? Remember, this is a channel for women, but I'm just using what I know just to give you guys a good analogy. A lot of men focus on what? Getting girls, right? But this is the problem, is that when you focus on getting girls, what are you missing? How to satisfy them. You're just learning how to attract a lot of unsatisfied customers, and you don't want that. So that's why a lot of guys, they experience, but girls don't talk to them back because they don't understand that, yeah, you're getting girls, but you gotta also take it another step and learn how to fuck them right. You see, that happens to me, not often, but not as much, but that still happens to me. So that means I still need to work on my skill. Now, sex is not something you're born with. Sex is something that you learn. You learn how to have sex. You learn different positions, you know what I'm saying? And so, a lot of people don't want to learn that because it's like, they feel like inferior. Now, it's just a skill set. You don't need to define yourself. You don't need to base your sense of self on a skill set, alright? So that's what I'm doing, and nothing wrong with that, right? But let's get started, because I'm going out of the subject. Now, one of the reasons why it's difficult to deal with when guys ghost is because some guys are just awesome and hard to forget. Some guys are just fucking cool, you know? And because of that, it's not that you have low self-esteem, but that sometimes the guys are really fucking cool. So it's okay to admit that they were nice, you know? But the issue is that our emotions tend to cloud our perceptions, and we don't know if they actually were that nice, or if our minds are just convoluting our perception in order to create an illusion of them being greater than they really are, right? Now, the thing is that when guys ghost, that's actually good for you. Why? Because when guys ghost, that means they just stop talking to you instantly. That's the best way to deal with it. The best way to kill someone is to do it quickly and swiftly. The best way to break up with someone is to do it quickly and swiftly. You see, the long drawn out breakups are just a sign of insecurity on your part because you're afraid to hurt their feelings. You know? So how do you deal with it? The first thing is to realize that there's a superficial social standards placed upon you by society that we all perpetuate by living up based on those standards. What do I mean by that? People's value right now are based on things, not on pure essence, but on things that are malleable and ephemeral in nature, that easily change from one second to the other. And that's where the source of most people's unhappiness is the realization, the unconscious realization that this will not last, or your looks will not last. But the problem is that your self-esteem is based on the looks, on your looks, all right? So because of that, you feel what? A pain inside. You feel there's a gap inside your heart because you're being judged by your looks. You're not enough. You're never enough because you keep seeing things that are better than you around you, right? Now, we're gonna get to a point, so just listen to me. Listen to me for a while, okay? So because of that, it's hard when you see a guy that's beautiful, you know? It's hard to let go of him because you say to yourself, if I'm with him, it means that I finally made it. You see, that's the unconscious realization that most women have, because their value is based on the type of men they can get, which is also a cause and effect as a result of the looks that you have. Depending on what you are in the looks wise, that's the kind of guy you're gonna get. You see? So that's why a lot of women go for guys that are rich, not because they like them, but because knowing that a rich guy likes them makes them feel better. Makes them feel better than the other woman, right? All based on comparisons and differences. So you see this kind of phenomenon in clubs. There's no better way to show this phenomenon than in a bar setting, because that's where I mostly do most of my teaching. So if you walk into a nightclub, you're gonna notice that notice the difference in how they treat hot women versus the girls that are not that hot. There's a huge difference, and that's a perfect example of how women are treated and how they feel. They see that beautiful women are treated better, and they see that girls are not as beautiful are not treated better. You see it perfectly on social media, like on Instagrams and the likes. You see? So your value in this society is based on something that you're going to lose. And so that's why a lot of women have this deep obsession with their looks, because they know that's how they're judged. And so the indicator of how good looking they are is based on the type of guys they could get. That's why it's hard to let go of certain guys, because some guys are just fucking awesome. Alright? So for example, like this happens with me. People don't judge you and don't treat you because of who you are. People judge you and treat you based on the superficial social standards. People may not know who I am and what I do, but as soon as they know that I know how to talk to girls, that I teach pickup, suddenly people treat me a lot differently. Superficially. It's not based on who I am, the essence of who I am, the presence, the emptiness, but it's based on something that's malleable, that's going to change, which means that at any second you can hate me. Right? So that's why a lot of people, women find it difficult to let go of certain guys. I call this one-itis. Like one-itis, like when you're just stuck on one guy. Alright? So what's one-itis? One-itis is the ego not accepting that someone doesn't think that you're enough. Especially when they treat you better than anyone else has ever treated you. You buy into it because you are fulfilling a childhood fantasy of wanting to find approval. Especially in men. Alright? And so the key to the pain, the key to the pain is needing validation. You see, that we all just need validation. That's why when men ghost, it's very difficult to deal with that because it tells you that you're not as attractive. Because of that, you feel a pain, and this pain drives you to what? To get validation. The deeper you get into it, the more validation you try to get. Because you see an inevitable end. Because of your age, you know that at a certain point in time in your life you're gonna stop being good looking, right? Validation is like counterfeit money. It gets cashed, but it cannot be converted. And so we want something that's not real, that's fake in essence. So our obsession to get validated, our obsession becomes like our obsession becomes getting validated. We become obsessed with validation and accepted through relationships. So when a guy ghosts, they take that validation. You see? And the thing is that we feel what? Scarcity. We feel like there's not that many guys that fulfill us. He's the special one. And so because he's the special one, you know what happens? It creates scarcity. And scarcity what breeds obsession. Scarcity causes our emotions for one person to become almost exaggerated. We create a fantasy. And that's how I teach women to seduce men. But this is what happens when a guy goes. And this is why the preemptive breakup and giving a guy space actually works, because of these same reasons. So sometimes getting with someone who's out, and the thing is that when you meet that special guy, that guy's that's like awesome and special, even getting a guy that's out of your league, it's horrible for your self-esteem. I swear to God. Getting someone who's out of your league is the most horrible thing that can happen to you. Why? Because, for example, let me give you a story of this one guy. There's one guy, I'm gonna give you a story. He was a college, he went to high school, and he was a nerd. Nobody knew who he was. He was a silent boy, an invisible boy. And suddenly the hottest girl in school started dating him. The hottest girl in school wanted to meet him, right? And because of that, suddenly he became famous. Suddenly everybody wanted to be around him. Suddenly every girl liked him. Suddenly everyone was cool with him. He got new friends because of her friends, alright? And he created an identity and he loved it. He started acting more attractively because he started noticing that women wanted him. And at the end of the school year, he was a completely different guy from who he was. You see? And so he reveled in the validation. And so it made him behave differently. But this is the problem. One day she broke up with him. And when she broke up with him, all of his fantasies, all of the aspiration to become this person who he finally became, came crashing down. And so you know what happened? Now he'll never find another girl better looking than him because she was out of his league. It was just pure luck. But guess what? It fucked him up. Now he knows he's not going to find a better girl than her. So what happens? He's going to become obsessed. He's going to want her more. And this kid went into depression. And found it took years to get over that girl. A blessing became a curse in this instinct. And that's why it's very difficult. You see? And so the key to letting go is this. Realize that this is all a Cinderella story. And I'm going to tell you, after this, I'm going to tell you what you could do when guys pull away. But realize that this is all a Cinderella story. We all want the Cinderella story, which is finding the perfect guy, but nobody wants to go 10 years into the future and see what happens with that Cinderella story. The truth is that men and women pull away. The truth is that in that Cinderella story, you're going to see that they break up one day. That they let go of each other one day. You have to go into the relationships and interaction that you have with men with freedom of attachment, freedom of outcome. You cannot, because when you're looking for the soulmate, what happens? I'm looking for a soulmate, so that you're gonna if you find a guy that you feel like, oh, finally he's my dream man. When you find that dream guy, what's gonna happen? You're gonna go on overload. You're gonna be like, I need to keep him, I need to keep him, I need to keep him. Why? Because scarcity breeds what? Obsession. So realize that the pain that's driving your desire for the person is not your desire for them, like actual love. It's the pain that's driving your desire, your lack of self-esteem. And so that causes men to actually pull away even more because they feel a neediness. You don't notice it. You don't notice it. You don't notice it because your ego won't let you see that. So the thing is, yeah, you have to have sources of happiness, or else it's going to be very hard to let go of them. Because it's not that you want him, it's not what you want the guy, it's that you want the emotion. It's similar to being hungry. When you're hungry, when you're very hungry, which is, in this case, needy, which is seeking validation because you never got it, or trying to find the dream guy that you have in your fantasies, or trying to find the relationship that you always wanted, the stability, because you don't like feeling unstable, which is the same thing as trying to find validation. By being that hungry, you're in a way, when you're hungry, it doesn't matter what's going on around you. When you're hungry and you see food, that's all you focus on. That's all you focus on, food, 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 food. And so you'll take anything, any food, I'll eat anything because I'm that hungry. So when you're obsessed with someone, when you're needy, any guy, doesn't matter who they are, if they meet some needing you, you're gonna become obsessed with them. You'll take anything. It's not that you want love, you just want satisfaction. You just don't want to feel how you feel right now. So realize that if you want to be able to let go of the guy, you got to go into that pain, because it's not that you are dealing, it's not that the guy, yeah, some guys are awesome, that's good, but that's why you need to go into the pain. Realize what's going on inside. Observe the pain. And when you observe the pain, you're gonna see the difference between you actually being obsessed with them because you feel unhappy, and the difference between you being obsessed with them because they're actually just good people. And if that's the case, you're gonna let go. You're going to let go of them in a healthy way, because your obsession is not being driven by need. It's just you just like them, you're just cool motherfucking people. But when it's driven by pain, it's gonna be very difficult to let go of it, because the human nature runs from the pain. What I want you to do is run towards the pain and be okay with it, because once you run towards the pain, you're not afraid of pain anymore. You're not afraid of what you can see. Identify your enemy so you can defeat your enemy. So once you feel the pain, once you observe the pain, you're not afraid of it. And so you're not gonna be guarded all the time. So now when a guy meets you, he's not gonna feel the defensiveness in you, which is the neediness and the seeking of validation. And when a guy pulls away, you'll be able to deal with it. You'll be able to realize that they're not really rejecting you; they're just rejecting the idea of you, the idea of being with you. It's no big deal. But realize that guys are gonna pull away. That's gonna happen. Guys are gonna ghost. Some guys are just in it for sex. Don't take it personal, all right? Okay, so let's answer some of your questions. Okay, let's see. And if the video shuts off suddenly, deal with it. Let it go, girl. Okay, so let's get started. First of all, some of the questions that I've answered, I did it on my other video, but again, it's on my other laptop. So I answer my Patreons, the people who are on my Patreon account. I answer their question because I always answer them first, but you know who you are. I can't answer it because I already answered it, and I don't want to do it twice. So if I can't get it by the end of the week, I'm gonna answer your question, right? But let's get started. This question says, you know who you are. I'm not gonna say the name, but you know who you are. Alex, thank you so much. It looks like I'm doing the right thing. Your video stands out from the rest because you explain so well and give us example. Also, I also like the way you think. You go deep into subjects. Can you please make a video about how to add value to his life? How to go from friends with benefits to girlfriend? That's a long topic, so I'm gonna skip that one until I'm gonna make a video on that actually. But let's get to the real question. Not that I'm not gonna answer, because that's gonna take too long to answer that question. Let's find this question. Okay, here it is. What about if he is talking about other girls to you? You know, when I say like when you want to make a guy, is that a sign of losing interest, or can that be interpreted as him wanting to make you jealous? How can I differentiate that fine line? Oh, I see what you mean. When the guy's talking about other girls, if he's actually trying to get you with the techniques, or if he's actually being him, you know, if he doesn't like you. First of all, find out if he subscribes to my channel. If he does, then he's doing it for you, you know. Another thing is, okay, he's talking about other girls, all right, then find out how, if he's talking about other girls, what you could do is find out how he reacts to your absence. Remember, humans are not rational beings, we're emotional beings. So try to get him to emotionally react. If he emotionally reacts to you, that means there's some emotions there. So just be absent. Like say you're dating another guy also, say that you're talking to another guy, talk about other guys and see how he reacts. Does he feel jealous? Does he get closer to you as a result of you talking about other guys? Or just pull away. Like literally just ghost him, you know? Like just stop talking to him for a while, like a week, and see how he reacts. If he really likes you, he's gonna come after you. Alright? The other one, I tend to be a little forward. Like after I think that I have interest over a guy and we've gotten a bit close, I tend to tell them I like them and chase them a little because I feel that they may be wanting me to do that move. A lot of guys are shy with emotions, right? But I spook them a lot and then they go away. Okay, the way that you gotta chase is to put the bait. Alright, for example, let's say that you want him to hang out with you, right? And he hasn't asked you out. Just say, hey, what's up? And he says, hey, what's up, girl? Not much. I'm just hanging out. I'm just bored. If he likes you, he's going to say, oh, for real, you bored? Well, let's hang out. Or, oh, for real? Okay. If he doesn't like you, he's going to say, okay, and he's going to ignore the subject. But if he really likes you and wants to meet up with you, he's going to take that bait. Or another example could be, I don't know, if you want him to, I don't know, kiss you, right? All you gotta do is just walk next to him, walk close to him, right? When you guys looking at each other, don't flinch, just look at him, right? And just give him the googly of you wanting him. Get close to him. Allow him to feel comfortable with your distance. Now, don't go for the kiss, but just get close enough, all right? Get close to him. Look at his lips. Look at his lips. Talk about your first kiss. You're accentuating what you want done, but you put in the opportunity there. You see? Okay? Again, you're not chasing, you're just indirectly chasing. Put in the bait. You just put in the bait. Alright? Some guys react to that. Some guys don't in terms of like being pushy, like being overly aggressive. But that's how you do it. You do it in a very indirect way. Alright? Another one. What if he's too busy to see you, but won't say it out on your text and keeps emailing and liking all of your social media? Even if you ignore him, he keeps texting, but never makes time. That's annoying as fuck. Go away. yeah, you gotta tell him that. Actually, tell him that. Tell him, oh, yo, what the fuck? Like, actually, look, sometimes you have to call out guys on their shit. Okay? If it's this would be a perfect occasion to tell him, yo, man, like, what the fuck you doing? Like, do you want to see me or not? You know? Like, I don't mind you doing that. It's actually pretty good if you actually let him know. I'm just so mad that I can't edit some of this stuff out because I stumble so much. Another one. Hey, I need your help. I love a damn. Don't be so aggressive. Shit. Hey, I need your help. I love a guy who who has commitment phobia because of his past. What should I do? First of all, tell him to look at the last video that I made, right? And the other one. Okay, if he's scared, right? He's scared of commitment, right? Little motherfucker scared, right? Okay. Then make yourself unavailable. Make yourself unavailable. I bet you want him more because he can't do the commitment, right? Make yourself unavailable. Just stop liking him. Act as though you. Ask yourself, what would I do if I stopped liking him? Okay. If he does something, say if I didn't like him, what would I do? You give him space. Okay, be the one that says, you know what, I don't want this. Okay, make him feel as though you are not that he's not going to be able to get you. If you don't know how to do that, watch some of my videos on how to make a guy chase. I explained it very well. But because if he's afraid of commitment, he needs to realize that, okay, motherfucker, you want to do that? But guess what? I'm not going to wait for you for a long time. I'm done. Once he realizes that he lost you, then he's going to be able to get over his fear, because the fear of losing you is a lot greater than the fear of commitment, even though I think that's bullshit. Maybe it may not be bullshit, but I think it's bullshit. Just found your page. Good looks. I love watching you. Me too. You are blunt and funny about it. What can I say? So how do you make a guy chase and make them see you for more than just sex? Guys who talk to me just want that. Am I saying that's bad bite out or something? Some girls should just do that. Some girls just have that sexy vibe, right? If a guy just wants sex, you have to How can I say this? This is a very difficult question. I have to think about that, to be perfectly honest with you. I didn't think about answering that question. That's a very difficult question for me. Because some girls, where they project that sexual aura, it's very difficult not to see that. But I guess what you could definitely do is have an air of innocence. Have an air of innocence and vulnerability. Okay, so, there you go. I think I found the answer. Okay. So when the guy just thinks about sex, that means he's looking at your body, right? But what you want him to do is mix lust with compassion and the desire and empathy. So the way you do this is have an air of innocence and vulnerability. Talk about the things that you are vulnerable about. Get him to talk about your childhood. Get him to talk about his childhood and talk about your childhood, right? Just make sure that he feels as though you're a human being. The more emotions you talk, the more emotions you bring out, which is emotions that causes him to actually want to help you feel better, or talk about how you feel sad, or feel depressed. Put him in a position where he can help you out on an emotional level. And what's gonna happen is that you're gonna mix in that lust with desire to help you out, with compassion, with care, and I could possibly make him see you outside of sex. You know, that's what I would do. Okay, I just came across your channel last week. Such good information. Thanks, and keep up the good info. I have to face the cold hard facts that I chase guys when I find one that I really like. I really wear my heart in my sleeves. In my latest instance, I have been flirting hard and sent this guy a couple emails and letters, but he's kind of a geek, so didn't even realize I was flirting. He's been single for so long, he doesn't know how. He's kind of backwards with women, but super nice. Do I have to take the lead or let him chase? Okay, so this is what I said. I said, yeah, that's what you have to do. Anytime he takes charge, you reward him with physical affection and praise. Praise how strong he is in front of people he cares, especially men, because men have egos, and stuff like that. That's an indirect way to control a guy, because you not control how he feels, and thus you also control how shitty he could feel if you want to have some bad and negative, evil intentions. You see? So if he doesn't know how to take the lead, you have to. Anytime you see him taking a little bit of a lead, just a little bit, reward that behavior. Reward it. You know, give it positive reinforcement. You know, give him a quick head. No, I'm kidding. There's no better way to reward a guy than to give him a head, right? I'm kidding. But seriously, like reward any little bits of behavior that goes with what you want, with attention and affection, physical, emotional, and mental. All right. Last question. I have a question. Okay, I already answered the question in the last video, so I'm hoping that the last video comes up so I don't have to answer this question twice. But anyways, guys, this is me. This is Alex from Mind for Attraction 2.0. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it was long. I know it was draggy. I know I fucked up many times, but you gotta deal with it for the moment, you know? So I may make another video today, who knows? But just stay tuned. And tell your friends about this channel. And support me on Patreon, alright? Motherfuckers, support me on Patreon. Okay? Alright, bye-bye.